Hi everyone, happy Just the Tip Tuesday. It's Ange here, obviously, who else would it be? Today is March 15th, day after my birthday. Thank you to everybody who sent me the kindest messages. I'm slowly making my way through them, so thank you guys so much. I hope you're all doing well. Say hello if you can hear me. Say hi if you're here. Hi Anne-Marie, how's it going? I'm just going to pull you guys up on my phone here too, just so I can have some live comments. Let me know what you're up to this week. Sorry, I was about 10 minutes late there. I had to do an update on my program that I run all this through, so. Thanks so much, Heather. Appreciate it. So today we're going to be doing some photo critiques. I've done a gallery critique before for a few people. But today we're going to be doing, it's my first actual just photo critique. So I got people to send them in. I don't know what was up with my engagement this week. So many people were like, oh, I never saw your post. I just asked some of my friends. I'm like, hey, did you see my post with photo critique? Cause I'm like, this is kind of cool. I'm excited to do this. And, yeah. So anyways, apparently no one was seeing my posts. So if we want to do this again, if you guys like this, let me know, because I want to obviously give you guys content that you enjoy and that you want. So yeah, if you want either a gallery critique, sometimes if people are having a hard time culling through a session and you want me to help you pick out the favorites, we can do that. Or if you want me to whatever, I'm happy to do any of this stuff. Plus, who likes to just watch me edit all the time, right? So let me know what you guys want to see. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys value and that you enjoy it and you want to keep coming back, so because I'm doing this for free. So I want to make sure that you guys are enjoying this, right? Alexandra is editing. I feel you. Are you back into the swing of things? Is your busy season picking up, Alexandra? Are you a wedding photographer? Let me know. Hi, Cassie. How are you doing? Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I know that I was a little late there. So a week today, I'm so excited, but a week today, we're going to be starting the 2-day online posing course, which I'm so excited for. I'm really, really stoked for that. If you didn't attend my last live workshop, it was a good one. I had so much fun. I literally was buzzing for a week after that. So obviously I teach lots and I teach lots of workshops, not so much in person these days because of COVID, but I do a lot of online stuff as well, online pre-recorded workshops. But this is the first time that I did a full-blown live workshop. So that was really fun. And the thing that I really loved about it was just that community involvement and you guys, in the comment section, making friends, and it was nice to actually communicate with you guys, because when I'm recording a normal workshop, it's just me and the camera, so it's nice to have a live studio audience, shall we say. So this workshop's going to be really fun. This one's specifically going to be related to couples posing and direction. When I say posing, I mean directing and just giving your clients prompts and whatnot. And obviously I do pose a lot. I'm actually really meticulous. My goal is to have it look like it's not superposed, even though I'm telling them where to place each finger and I'm moving their hair and touching them and moving everything around. So, but that's just how I am. But I want to make sure I give the illusion of, it being more carefree. This being said, there are a lot of my photos that are very carefree and are actually just in between moments, or sometimes just prompted by the couple themselves. Half the time I feel like my best photos are as soon as the shoot is done, then they relax and they just do something cute that's super natural to them. I'm like, shut up, you guys are so cute, do it again or whatever. So whenever I'm finished a shoot, I never put my camera down because there's always an encore and it's usually the best. Yeah, so that one's gonna be all on the first day. Is going to be focused more so on that building that relationship with your couple, whether or not you've met them ahead of time or not, and just really building that confidence and knowing what you're looking for, kind of curating the session ahead of time so that you can really stay on track and just go in with lots of really good ideas and not feel like you're stuck on poses and whatnot. So I'm going to walk you guys through all of my go-to, I'm not saying obviously every session's the same, but I do have a few little checklist in my head of okay, have I captured, I'm just going to end up turning today into a workshop because this is what I do. We'll go into it in the workshop if you want to hear more, and not just the tip. I'll give you lots of tips. Okay. Come to my workshop. It's $20. And for that $20, you get obviously the live, this thing, the live workshop itself. And then if you don't get a chance to watch it live, you get the week to watch it while the group's open. And then if you need to watch it beyond that, or if you couldn't make it, then you can pay $50 and then you have unlimited access to it. This one will be a good one if you were on the edge of like, oh, like, do I want to watch this again later? It probably would be a good one because I'm going to be doing lots of visuals. Like, you can take lots of notes, but this one is going to have lots of visuals. And probably I'm still like finishing up some of the content for it, but I will show you guys some behind the scenes videos and stuff as well with me teaching, so you can see that. Alexandra says, so I asked her if she was a wedding photographer. She said yes, boudoir, especially, and with summer coming, that means waterfall boudoir sessions. Fuck yeah. Amazing. We have a waterfall here close to me. It's like 5 minutes up the road, Goldstream National Park, and it's so nice. I'm really excited, except right now the water's a little bit too high to actually access it. Like to have your clients right in front of the waterfall. But in the fall, when it's a little bit, it's rushing a little less, and the actual river. So I don't even know where all the water goes, because I think it goes to an underground river because the riverbed actually dries up, but yet there's still a raging waterfall. So I don't know how fast the earth is absorbing that water, but it's insane. But in the fall, you can actually like walk right up the riverbed and get to the waterfall, which is cool. And then you get all the leaves falling. But anyways, I went there a couple weeks ago just for a little walk with my mom, and it was so nice. I feel like I don't get out enough considering I live in one of the most beautiful places in Canada. Anne-Marie says, your posing cues have helped me be more comfortable with posing. I even gave some of your tips to my hairdresser because she takes professional photos of her hair clients, but didn't know how to pose them. That's so important. That's so awesome, Anne-Marie. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Just a few little things to make like even just regular poses that you normally do. Just give it a little like extra, a little something give it a little extra something that makes people stop and makes it a little more believable, a little more like emotion. I'll be going through like all of my like favorite poses, shall we say, and tell you what I'm looking for. So if you've ever purchased my posing guides, it's going to be like an extended workshop that kind of goes with my posing guides, because it's same kind of thing. Do you guys have any questions for me about anything? Let me know before we get in here. Heather says, a little bit of spice. I feel like I talk in TikTok quotes like all the time, and I'm always like kind of self-conscious when I start stories off like, hey, like that I learned this on TikTok, because you just assume but also hope that everyone is on TikTok so you don't just sound crazy. Anyways, I'm kind of looking a little ratchet today. Like, made the bun a little extra high. Good thing it's a little high. It means I'm a little closer to heaven. I'm halfway to 70 now. Need all the luck I can get here. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the workshop or anything else. I'm always an open book. So if this is your first time catching me live, welcome. I hope I don't scare you off. If you're watching this replay back, please comment below with the hashtag replay so that I know you were here and we can say hello. I'm assuming you're here because you're also in my Facebook group, Stay Inspired with Ange McCabe. That group is so amazing. I love it so much. We're getting a little bit big now, but I still answer as many questions as I can. But the group kind of runs itself as far as like supporting each other and commenting and giving each other advice. And I'm so proud of it because you guys have made it what it is. So thank you guys so much for being a part of my community. I feel so honored to have my name on that group, to be honest, but even though it's you guys that are making it what it is. So thank you. I love ya. Shall we get to the photo critique? I have, what I'm going to do is a photo critique. There's 5 people sent them in, and then we're going to do a couple editing. I'm going to make a couple GIFs for you today because I need to do them anyways. So I thought I might as well just do it. So if you've never made a GIF, maybe this will be some inspo for you. I might be a little hyper because I had cake for breakfast. Not going to lie. And then I had sugar-free syrup in my coffee today just to make up for the 8,000 calories I had for breakfast. My mom made me this like pineapple cream cheesy cake. It was so freaking good for my birthday, and we have lots of leftovers, so you know what I'm eating for lunch and dinner. Okay, I gotta make my screen big here, one sec. This is kind of annoying, hey? That little thing, I feel like I should change it up. Cake for breakfast, living my best life. I am living my best life. Okay, hold on a second. I just need to get to the right screen share here. Give me one sec. I have too many little options here. There, we'll do this. Ready? Okay. Maybe I'll move my head. Hold on. Move my head over here. Bloop, bloop. Okay. So these photos were sent by Alexa Ray. Let's us have a look here. I haven't looked at these ahead of time, FYI. So I will do like constructive criticism where I can. It might just end up being like a pump you up session because they're just so freaking good that they don't even need a critique. So let's pull these up. Oh, did someone just subscribe? Maggie Collins in the house. Did you like that? You get the green banana. I have these little emojis that the longer you are, actually here, I'm going to show you guys. Give me one sec, okay? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Hold on. Okay, let me just pull this up because it's funny and maybe you haven't seen yet. And if you have seen, that's okay. We're doing this. So when you sign up, here we go. When you subscribe to Merlot Moss on YouTube, you get this little green banana. And then the longer you are, hold on a sec. Alex Ray. Oh, sorry, Alex. Okay, Alexandra, I'm so sorry. I called you Alexa Ray because do you know what? We have someone in my industry in Victoria. She's a hairstylist and she's Alexa Ray. So it just in my head instantly clicked. So sorry, that's my bad. Alex Ray. There we go. Thank you for correcting me. I always botch people's names. I'm so sorry. Here's a banana. So you get a green banana when you first subscribe. And then as you like age with me, your banana starts to reveal just the tip. All the way to the banana peel. And then you become the epitome of what we all strive to be in, which is Angelo. So, but I don't know where they pop up. I think if you I don't really know, the YouTubes very well, like as far as like the streaming stuff, but I don't know where that little emoji pops up, but randomly, I think if you I don't know, do a super chat or something, is a super chat a thing? I don't even know. Anyways. Okay. Alex Ray. There we go. Sorry for botching your name. Oh, this is beautiful. Her tummy is so round. I love it. It's like the perfect sphere. Okay. Because I only just saw this photo, I need to think about what I would potentially do differently. Okay. So what I probably do is, to start, it's a freaking beautiful photo and really nice editing too. I like it. What I would maybe do for editing is do a graduated filter and make this a little bit more golden up here potentially versus it kind of goes to white and like a little bit of magenta. I would personally, but it's just a personal taste because of, how we all edit differently, but I'd probably make that just slightly more golden. And I would probably, instead of having her shoulders square, like pretty much square to the camera, I probably, because she's looking this direction, bring this shoulder forward and then drop this shoulder back and push it back a little bit. That's probably what I do. And offset her hips a little bit too. That's probably what I do. But it's a beautiful photo. Well done. Okay, let's see this one. Ooh, this is spicy. This is the waterfall boudoir you're talking about. I likey. This is nice. And I really like her bathing suit. And her hair. Okay, I had this conversation, just a couple days ago with some people about sexy wet hair shots. Okay. I think you either have it or you don't with wet hair. Like when I go to Mexico and my hair touches the water, it instantly turns into like a matted rat's nest and it is not cute at all. There's no sexiness to it. All I want to do is put like leave-in conditioner in and brush it. And then there's people that can just be like, boom, I'm a freaking babe. Whoopsies. That's zoomed in too much. Like, I cannot, so I will just live vicariously through other people. Okay, this photo, it's amazing. So, so good. She is already, okay, see how she's putting weight into this hip? I would almost rock this slightly more, like really lean into the hip a bit more. And then, Alex, I would take this elbow and pop it in. So you follow my direction of my mouse. I would take her arm and I'd get her to bend her elbow behind her like this and then pop it out and then rest on her hip, and it would give her even more shape. But that being said, this photo's bomb. And I just have to say something because this is a photo critique. This is so tough to get right. I actually edited about 20 strands out of her face to just have the very few. Well, this looks amazing. Let's zoom in. Let's go see your handy dandy work here, okay? Okay, yeah, there's a few there. Like I can see where you edited it, but you wouldn't notice that pulled back. Okay, yeah. I see that it was an issue and that you have dealt with it very well. Good job. This is really good. And her face and like chin up. So even though, so one of my rules is like don't shoot up the nostrils unless it's like a powerful pose like this. We're not distracted by her nostrils. We got a lot of other things to look at too, but having her chin up just like shows her confidence too, right? So amazing. Okay, this is really pretty. I love me a good like rule of thirds sun, like backlit, but just coming from the side a bit, peeking down. So this is my favorite type of sunset photo where you're not actually shooting the physical sun itself. You're just on the edge, like you're just edging with your lens. So like that sun would be like right up here. I don't know if you can see my screen. I think so. Yeah, it'd be just here. And then that way you still have like, it's not like just super hazy. This photo straight out of camera was probably quite hazy, I'm assuming, but like you still have that richness to it. Whereas if she shot just a little bit lower or higher, I guess, depending on the angle, and let that sun peek in, it would be a lot more washed out and hard to retain like that nice sharp detail again. I really like this. What you could do, okay, so we're rule of thirds, but we're not quite rule of thirds. So what would I do? Probably pull it back just a little bit and have her, because she's almost the center actually. I would do it a little bit more rule of thirds. That's about it. I like that we have some foreground here a little bit. If you even had a little bit more here, even filling up, if you shot a little lower or had some in front of your camera, it would just add a little bit more extra. This is a great photo. These are just options that you could do for a portrait like this. These are not like, this is crappy because you didn't do this. I'm just, suggesting things. Another thing, you could like get this arm to like wrap around her like rib cage and then bring this elbow in. And then this is just like a movement you could do or like a prompt, and then get her to like hold her hat down, like throw her head back and laugh, something like that. Photos like this also, like if you did that motion, it would be also a good GIF. I love me a good GIF. I feel like GIFs, as far as on Instagram goes right now, I can't stand Instagram and I hate that everything is so like reels based, but video in general does better than photos, I find these days, even if it's like just a GIF as a solo GIF on your feed, not as a reel, usually will do better even than just a regular photo. But this is beautiful. Well done. Thanks for sending those. And then Alex, you also did send me those photos, a couple raw files. So I will go ahead and edit those in a little bit here. Okay. Thank you for sending. Okay. Margaret Smith, are you in the house? Are you here, my friend? Let me know. Okay. Let's see these. Ooh. Oh, it looks like we have some really good portraits. Oh, I've seen these before. She sent these in for editing before, and they were super easy to edit. They were so beautiful. There we go. Margaret's here. Perfect. I always like when I'm either doing editing or critiquing or whatever, and the people I'm actually talking about are here so that we can, bounce back and forth. You're so welcome, Alexandra. Those are beautiful photos you sent in, so thank you so much. If anyone is here who maybe just popped in, we're doing some photo critiques today. Feel free to send some to me. Even for actually next week, we're not going to have just the Tip Tuesday next week because we're going to be live for like hours together for the workshop. So really quickly, if you just popped in and you want to be part of my online posing workshop, it starts next Tuesday. It's next Tuesday and Wednesday. It's $20. I can't say for sure how long each day is going to be, but probably 2 to 3 hours. So be there, be square. You're going to have FOMO if you're not there. So just do it. You can find everything on my website. Okay. Margaret. Let's pull these up. Oh, these are cute. Okay, since you're here, is there off-camera flash here or like a studio light? Let me know. I almost feel like we have some fill light here because she's getting lit from the side. I like this. You know what I like about this? I like that it's clean. I like that the tones and everything are like true to life. I like that we have green here. I like that this is existing. No. Okay, did you use a reflector? Or is this editing? How the heck is she getting such beautiful lighting on her face? Let me know. Oh, Alex, she said, I got the workshop. Yay! I'm so excited you're coming. Margaret, fill me in. I need to know. What is this added? How does she have such beautiful light on her face when the sun's coming from over here? Gosh, that's pretty. Was this a branding shoot or senior shot or what is this? I really like this portrait. To be honest, I don't really have any critique. I'm like, even the lines, they're so straight. I can't even get you on that, my friend. Okay, let's go to the next one. There we go. Okay, this is also really cute. She's so natural and she has the cutest smile. I love this. The only thing I would say is a bit distracting is this sign in the background. That's probably the only thing I would do. And no, okay, this is, I call bullshit. Margaret, I call bullshit. You have to have a light source. What the heck? This is so good. What are you using here for lens? Is it going to tell me? 50 millimeter. I was going to say maybe 85, but yeah, 50 sounds right. Fall morning. Yes, it was for a friend of mine who needed content for her fashion blog. I like how I think it auto-corrected to fashion blob, and I really like it. We'll roll with fashion blob. Okay, yeah. I don't believe you about this no extra light source bullshit. It's great. I like it. And I like that the yellows are so nice and vibrant. So hold on. Is she a fashion designer? Let me know. Okay, she said it was foggy, so maybe we get some reflected light from the fog. Okay, I believe you, but still. Cute. Just that sign in the background. Yeah, I don't even have anything to say. These are cute. For the purpose that they're supposed to do, they're exactly, you understood the assignment. Let's just put it that way. So essentially, this is like critique / let's just show off your pretty photos, okay? That's what this is. Okay, look at this. Perfect rule of thirds. The only thing you could do if I literally have to like critique something is just clean up a few things. Like here on I find this a little bit distracting here on the pole, like just the whatever. And I don't know. This one could probably handle a little bit more of like vignetting over here just to like, because it goes off because it's foggy. But I feel like it could have a little bit more depth over here just to kind of frame it a little bit more maybe. You're too good. You can't even. Okay, this one. You know what? I got you. We're going to do this one. I'm going to open up this one for a second because there is something that bothers me about this photo because I'm like anal with shit like this. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 sec. Let's open this up. I'm going to open up in Photoshop, okay? I'm going to give you a little tippity tip. What's a Tuesday without some tips? Okay. Whoops. Margaret. There we go. Okay, so this photo I'm going to open in Photoshop. Okay, so we got straight lines here, which is what I know you aligned this photo for, I'm sure. I'm going to make a duplicate layer here. But this line right here, the main line, is like just slightly off. So like my brain just wants it to be straight. So what we would do here is I always work on a duplicate layer. So when we do distortions and straightening lines and like the overall image, it does distort people, obviously. But when they're more so to the center of the photo, you get less distortion. And that's why I always do it on a duplicate layer so that we can see how much distortion we have and if we need to fix it. Because minimal distortion, it's not even noticeable. And I'll show you what I mean here. So we're going to go, can you see what I'm doing? Hopefully, yes. Okay. So we go edit and we go transform. I'm going to go distort. So I'm going to actually just pull this straight. I should have grids on, but I'm just going to not. And we're just straightening this up just like a tiny bit. Now we might have, I'm just going to hit enter. Wait, is that too much? I should put grids on and actually follow this, but I'm just going to eyeball it. That looks good to me. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly double check. See how it made her a little shorter and wider because of the distortion? So then what we could do is Control T, which is transform. I'm going to hold shift so I can like pull this up just a tiny bit. So we just give her the height back. There. So now when we go like this, I mean, sure, let's do it just like one little bit more just to, there we go. So now we're just looking. I mean, things are moved a little bit, but like she still looks like herself. Her face doesn't look wonky or distorted. She doesn't look like wider than she is physically or anything like that. So I would say good. I would say that's good. Oh, wait. Did I screw up the line? Okay, you can fart around with it, but I can think you know what, you're thinking, you know what I'm doing there. I think it is off a bit. But anyways, that's how you can straighten up lines if you're having a hard time, like deciding how you want to line things up or crop or whatever. So, oh yeah, there we go. You can see I have the crop line. Now this one's off a bit. But anyways, slap your grids on, and then if you ever do that, that's how you do that. Okay. Margaret says, I swear I don't know how to use an extra light source. Okay, I believe you. But it's really nice. You did a nice job there on those. Okay. Ooh, this is nice too. The only thing I would do is maybe change up her feet a little bit. Maybe have one heel up on here. I mean, it's not like awful. Like, it's not bad. I would maybe, I'd probably pop this arm a little further back just to give her body a little more shape, because it's kind of just like she's a tiny girl. This angle, or not this angle, but just the way she has her arm, we have no definition of her body. We're losing her body a little bit, I think, in this particular photo. So I'd bring that arm back and then maybe pop a knee up here and put that heel or her foot on this potentially. That's a really high heel, so it might not work. Her knee's going to be touching her chin. But I mean, it's a good photo. I like it. If you got her just a little bit taller and then even get a little bit of arch in her back, get her to sit with the shoulders back a little bit more, she'd probably look a little more confident. But it's a beautiful photo. It's great. Shooting portraits and headshots and like solo photos, can be really tricky sometimes, because for me personally, I shoot so many couples that sometimes when I'm shooting someone solo, I'm like, what the fuck do you do with your hands? Because you're, don't have someone else that you're like playing with, or like if they're not pregnant, then they don't where to put their hands, right? Because they always put their hands on their belly. So anyways, you did a really good job with this session. I like it a lot. This is cute. This isn't the same girl. No. Is it? I can't tell. No, this is a different shoot. Okay. Well, it's a different shoot, different girl. I really like this. I would only say maybe just shoot a little lower or a little higher so that her head's not on the horizon here. But it's not, I break that rule often. So yeah, I like it. The editing's great. Margaret, do you use Evoke? I feel like this is Evoke. So if you guys ever have a hard time, Evoke pulls red quite a bit. Oh, this one's my daughter. Oh my goodness, she's beautiful. She's so pretty. I was saying pretty and beautiful at the same time. She's so pretty. Okay, yeah, this looks like Evoke to me. So sometimes, so I know she is wearing red lipstick, but if you ever, and I don't think that there's a problem with this red, it looks really good, but if you're ever editing with Evoke and you find that the red becomes too punchy, or they're wearing something that's really bright, like this pink, I'll move my head, like that pink shirt down here, just go to your HSL sliders and play with luminance with your red. Usually that fixes it right up, if you need to do that. Oh, this is pretty too. Okay, so what I would do here is I do like the foreground and like the weeds, or like the pretty weeds, the wheat that's sticking up, or what, it's not wheat, but they're weeds and they're pretty. I would have it maybe so that like really be conscious of where those lines are. So like this one right here kind of looks like it's like gonna stab her in the chin, even though obviously it's not going to, because it's probably 5 feet in front of her. But just be aware of, like, just make sure you look at those things in camera, because this one wouldn't be bad to remove, but sometimes it can be kind of annoying to get rid of. And then horizon, obviously, again too. What I would have tried with this one is actually like finding a spot where you cover up a little bit less of her. And I actually recently did a shoot like this where I got my client to like sit in the grass and then like kind of on a little pathway, and it was just like this really cool, I don't know, there's like the weeds sticking up on either side of her. Yeah. Obviously I'm not looking at your whole session, I can only go off of these 2 photos, but these are well done and I really like the editing. You could probably use the linear gradient if you wanted to make it a little more gold in there too. If you wanted to, but it looks great. Okay, rule of thirds. Okay, this is really beautiful. This is what I would do. I don't have any critique on like the posing and stuff. I like that she's looking back at the camera. That's cool. One thing that you could play with Margaret is in Liquify. You could probably even like fluff up her hair more, or her dress even. Pull it back a bit more just for some extra drama. And these are just like suggestions. They're not critiques because it's beautiful. But with this one, what I maybe would have done, I also like the crop of this. It's nice and long. Is pulled the blue more and pulled the golden more. So you have like that contrast of like cool and warm. But I like that you didn't ignore the blue, because sometimes we change photos so much to that it doesn't really feel like it did in real life. So this photo, I can like it feels like it did probably in real life because you still left that blue. But yeah, you could even lean into that blue even more if you want. I challenge you. And then I would have tried to maybe shoot just slightly lower so that we maybe don't even have this in the horizon, like this part in the horizon, and it's really, really clean. And then if you got low enough, you might have a little bit of interest in the foreground too. But overall, it's a really clean, really nice photo. Sometimes I personally too, when I'm shooting, is I forget to like get the fuck back, take a photo from far back. So I bet you this gallery, obviously, because it was your daughter too, so you wanted to make sure you had some nice photos of your daughter. But like adding variety in your gallery through just like moving and getting back, going up nice and close, is one thing you can do to, set the scene. This is pretty. Oopsies. I really like this session of yours. I feel like kids these days are way too cool for me. I'm like, I could not rock. I couldn't rock jeans like this. I feel like I would look like a 47-year-old middle-aged dad. Margaret says, this is making my fucking day. My Instagram engagement sucks, and this is making me feel better about my work. This is so helpful. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Your work is beautiful. Don't judge yourself on Instagram, especially right now. It's like trash. Like Instagram is trash. And I keep on seeing these people write posts about how Instagram's going out the door. So if this is any inspiration to not keep all of your eggs in one basket, that would be my recommendation, is to branch out a little bit. You know what? Maybe stop ignoring that. I'm not saying that Facebook is not going out either, but maybe stop ignoring your Facebook page. Like me, I never engage on my actual Facebook page, like my photography page. I just go and I like reshare from, when you're posting to Instagram, and then you can just share to Facebook as well. That's what I do. I'm super lazy. But when I actually look at my insights, most of my like website clicks and stuff are from my Facebook page. So maybe that's telling me something. Margaret says, yes, I learned about the liquify tool from you, and I'll go back and try that on her hair and dress. Yeah. So it's just a nice little thing you can do to enhance an already good photo. If it's like, you're like, yeah, this could like use a little, especially if you have lots of movement in your photo and their hair is already moving, it's a lot easier to use liquify to enhance the like movement that already exists in the photo. I use it like all the time. It's one of my favorite things. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I use the liquify tool to enhance a lot of things in my photos, like hair and wardrobe, and just little like nip and tucks that add drama. Am I the drama? But yeah, so I'm sure I will be going over it again sometime soon because I use it all the freaking time. So, other than that horizon going through her, but I also don't find that it's that distracting. You could shoot a little bit higher so that she's a little bit higher in this negative space, because there's not obviously too much going on up there. But I also just like the simplicity of this photo. Like it's, one thing that you could do, and I know she's walking and you're probably moving a lot too, just compositionally, if you moved over just slightly and had her essentially shot so that she was like not on top of this window or whatever. I think it's the window to the lower floor or whatever of the parkade. Just, compositionally, if she was between those, it'd be just slightly stronger, but like I'm just being nitpicky. It's great. Margaret says, yes, I learned about the look for, oh, I already said that. All right. And then this one. Okay. So I feel like if you got this hand a little bit like further back and like in her neck, I think that this pose, I mean, this is a really good photo, but I think, and I'd like to see more from this series of this exact pose that you did. But if you had her hand a little bit further back and just like, I could see her like turning her head just slightly towards the camera and looking like right into the soul of the camera, I feel like it'd be like a very powerful photo. And then I don't know what her other hand is doing too, but it could like go under, you can't really see me, but like go underneath. I like this. This is nice. I like the light peeking out. There we go. It's my favorite type of light again. Just that nice like peeking glow. Yeah, I like it. The only other thing is maybe either crop in or pull out a little bit. I don't know if you crop this photo in, but I try not to crop right on the edge of something. It's just like a little pet peeve thing of mine, but whatever. This is great. All right. Thanks for sending those, Margaret. Let's go to Priya. Priya, are you here, my friend? Priya Gill. Let me know. Okay, so we have some couples. We got a cute little baby and then a family. You're so welcome, Margaret. Okay. Ooh, okay. So, is Priya here? Yes, you're here. Okay, this is perfect. Beautiful photos you sent in. Thank you so much. These are my first time looking at them. Now that you're here, quick question. And I think I'm right. You have natural light and then you also have ambient light, right? Ceiling light. So, let me know. Let's confirm this, but I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because the yellow in here and the shadows, coming this way. Yes. Okay. So Priya, is this a studio or is this like, at a wedding, like a real wedding, or let me know. So the first thing I do when I'm looking at doing portraits, this was a difficult session. So was this at your studio? Let me know. And then I can let you know if we could have changed things for you. So it's beautiful to start. So even though you said it was difficult, you still pulled out some good photos here. So, okay. It was a restaurant where she had her bridal shower. All right. So I don't know if she probably had no control over this, but in a scenario where she could have had control over this is my first time shooting outside of my studio. Okay. So you have your comfort zone in your studio, right? So this is where, getting out and expanding and, trying new things. You gotta experience things like this and learn about ambient light and, why you have that comfort in your studio. And this is why. So in a scenario like this, she's at a restaurant, probably didn't have control over whether or not the lights were on or not. But if this was a studio, let's just say this is a studio for the sake of teaching right now. Or even if you're like a wedding photographer and you're shooting getting ready portraits or just like any portraits indoors, my first thing I do, unless there's like intentional ambient light that I really like candles or cafe lights, something like that. If it's something where I just want a really clean portrait, if I have the ability to turn off any extra light sources other than my one light source, which is my window light, the photo's going to have a lot more depth to it. You're not going to have tricky shadows. You're not going to have murky skin tones. Editing is going to be way easier. It's just overall it's just going to be a nicer photo all around. This is still a beautiful photo, but we can see here that we do have like the yellow from the ambient light, and then natural light when it's compared to ambient light from tungsten light bulbs is you're going to have the yellow light and then the natural light's going to feel blue. So you kind of battle that line, and then you get tricky skin tones, which probably had a little bit of a difficulty here too, because they have I don't know, because I obviously don't know the raws, but it was probably hard to like maintain their I'm assuming they had really nice skin tones. Not saying that this isn't bad skin tones here, but you probably would want to make sure that that they ended up looking themselves as well, as what I'm trying to say. So reducing to one natural light source is going to be a lot easier for editing. With this photo, so whenever I'm posing them and their heads are like close together, what I would probably do, and if you see here, the natural light is coming up his face this way. If you turned his head this way, so almost the same as hers, and then had it tilted in and they both like looked down or looked at the same spot. Sorry, I'm opposite. I would have got their heads turned in and then both looking down. She could have popped this shoulder up a little bit more here too. And even I always say like pop clav. So when we have flat light on a chest, it's nice for just interest and emotion when you can get a bit of shadow. So when people like, I'm a thick girl, but if I do this, I can still get shadows in my collarbones, especially when I pop a shoulder, right? So that's just a way that you can add a little extra emotion, a little more interest, a little more dimension to your photo too when it comes to posing. But really work that light. Yeah, so let's go on to the next one. This one's the same. Oh yeah, see here, you can see that tricky light. You can see that like very yellow light coming here. Priya, do you edit with Evoke? I feel like we're missing what I would probably go if you do, or even if you don't, what I probably do is go in here and make her lips a little bit more on the pink side, because I'm assuming they were a little bit more pink, potentially, just because they're going a little bit gray. And then I would use, yes, okay, so Priya uses Evoke. So what I would do is go in here on their faces and use, with a brush, the custom brush kit that comes with it, use Shadow Fix and Desaturate, and that will get rid of most of this. Actually, shall we do it together? Let's do it together. I will, hold on. Okay. You know what? It's going to be tricky, but I'm going to do it. And because it's a JPEG, so I don't have the raw. But I want to try to fix this for you. I want to help you. Let's open it in Photoshop. Okay, so if I do this and I go filter, camera raw filter, the only thing I don't like about camera raw filter right now is when you go and use the brushes, hold on. Where's the brushes? There's the brushes. When you go here and then you click, frick, where's the custom ones? There we go, preset. See how you can't see them? Can you guys even see? I can't see you guys. Can you see me? Yeah. See how when you click, I always lose it. There we go. You can't see them because they changed everything up. So anyways, I'm just going to make one from scratch here. So even if you don't edit with Evoke and you're watching this, you can do this. So I'm going to take a brush and I'm just going to brush on like these yellow spots right here. And we're just going to go opposite to what, if you know your color wheel, it helps. So complementary color to red is green. So right off the bat, we're going to go down here and go more so green. Let's play around. Let's move this down blue a little bit. We can desaturate just a little bit too. We can brighten up shadows and bring up our highlights too. That's already helped quite a bit. There we go. That helped quite a bit. And then I would probably do another brush, add another brush. And I would just like, oopsies, go here on her lips a little bit. And hold on. I think I can just double click and it will get rid of everything, but we actually want to, oh shoot, am I doing this whole thing? Frick. I don't use ACR as much. I just frigged this right up. Okay, I'm gonna go, okay. We're gonna fix her lips. The joys about going live is that I can fuck up and we can fuck up together. That's fine, right? Let's do this. Okay, so now I'm going to do up another brush. There's some of you who are going to be like pros in Lightroom and editing. You're going to be like, this is painful to watch, Ange. And you could just like increase tint a little bit of saturation, just to bring that like color back into her lips a little bit. It's tricky sometimes when you're trying to get like the right lighting on their skin tones and you're dealing with ambient light, like no matter what preset you use, you're like, it's sometimes a struggle. Okay, so now we can warm it up a little bit more, add a little more tint, I think would be good. A little more magenta is what I'm trying to say. There, the tones are a little bit better. And then we can even do a new mask, and let's do a linear gradient. Let's add a bit of warmth here because we have a lot of warmth coming from here, and then it was going a little gray down here, so we can just add that and magenta. That's probably too much. There we go. That's good. And then even a little bit of nope. Let's do this. Perfect, you guys. Here it is. Okay, there, that gives a little more depth. Okay, so what I would do with this photo is he's looking at her and adoring her, but she's looking at us and adoring us, right? So I want that connection to be between them. So what I would do is even get him to like put his forehead down onto her forehead. And if you wanted to, so I don't mind, when I say mind, it's, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Profile is fine, but if you turn his head towards us, we see a bit more of his face too, which is nice. But this one, it's kind of a bit more about her. The attention's on her. So if he put his head against her and looked down, and then she like looked down and like brought brought this shoulder up. Well, it is up actually. If you pulled back a little bit, you could have, I'm pretty sure his hand's probably around her waist. Get him to pull her in even a little bit tighter. He could have his head against her, and she could be, instead of looking at us, she could be like looking down at him, or like if you wanted her to look at him, she could even hold both of his hands, or use both of her hands to hold his face. That's just like another variation you can do. But for this one, I almost feel like I want the connection to be between them and not us and the camera, if you know what I mean. But it's still a beautiful photo. Okay, let's go on to this one. Little baby. All right. So this is super cute to start. And babies with so much hair make me so envious, because my kids were both like pretty much, well, not quite bald. Not that bald babies aren't cute, because they are. But it's always so fun to photograph lots of hair. So I would just watch your skin tones. Newborns are very tricky because they have, a lot of times they'll have jaundice, they have blotching, they have like sometimes like mottling of their, so when babies are born, their body's trying to readjust and figure out how much blood it needs for its little body, because they, obviously are getting a constant supply from mom. So the first couple of weeks, they can be really blotchy. They can have this thing called acrocyanosis, which is, so if you didn't know, I used to be a labor and delivery nurse, so this is why I know a lot about babies. So sometimes their hands and even like their lips and just like extremities can be a little bit grayish or bluish. Not saying that this baby has it, but sometimes they'll get that, like even around the mouth. A lot of times it'll look kind of like dusky and mottly, and it's just their body trying to figure out where to distribute the blood, and it always prioritizes the core and like the internal organs. So that's why sometimes they can have those tones. So I'm not saying that newborn photos like have to be absolutely perfect in the sense that you don't show those real things, but just kind of depends on the extent of the editing you want to do. And a lot of times, like for me personally, my editing, I'm not going to say it's going to be dictated by my clients, but a lot of the things are a little bit more parental preference. So things like little like flaky skin on their hands and toes, I think that I personally really like it. It's just such a telltale sign of that very brief period in their life of being a newborn, and so I happen to like it. But some parents, they don't want that on there, so I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I don't go bitch about it in a photography group. Sometimes babies will have like blotchy red skin or like newborn acne and stuff like that too. Usually for the most part, acne people usually will get rid of. Sometimes it can be very challenging in redness as well. So just kind of depends on, what you're comfortable with and what your clients are comfortable with. So for this particular photo, I'd probably back off a little bit with the richness of the skin tones. One thing that you can do, Priya, since you do use Evoke, is you can just decrease contrast is usually what I do when I edit newborns, and that kind of softens up the skin tones a little bit. And then you can also go in there with the Shadow Fix and Desaturate brush. It's easier to see when you're in Lightroom because it actually shows, the brush name. And then as far as this pose goes, this is one of my favorite, like sleepy, unposed poses, even though they're kind of posed. And you can do this pose at newborn sessions, and it's really cute too. You just tuck them into the bed. And I always like to bring lots of like little layers and stuff like that too to my newborn sessions. But for next time, try just turning baby's head towards the light. And then even like shoot a little bit more from the side where they're looking, just so that you don't have to you can get nicer skin tones when they're looking into the direction of the light. If you can control it, try to have that light come from the like down and across their face at about a 45-degree angle. So if you're like posing them on the bed, see where that light's coming from, and then angle them as so, if you have control over that. So, but this is beautiful. These are so cute. All right. So this is obviously an adorable family session or motherhood session. And I can't really critique it because the thing about these photos and, being a parent of 2 wild boys, it's kind of like just luck of the draw if you get a good photo. So you did a good job with this. This is great. The only thing I would say is see how he is looking off in this direction. I would almost, if you could, like I obviously have to critique this photo. So I would go a little bit more closer to the window myself so that the kid would, or get whoever he might be looking at, if this baby's a boy, regardless, adorable kid, whoever they're looking at, get them to come a little closer to me so that we would see more of their face. So, and same with the little girl. So if you turned everybody just slightly more towards the window light, I'm assuming this is natural light, then you might even be able to see a little bit more of her face and get a little more light on her face. So yeah, whenever I have somebody helping out with photos, as far as like being there to help with, or like if let's say dad's not in the photo, was there but wasn't in the photo, I get them as close to me as possible, like behind me, or if they're like showing like their phone or something that baby will look at, hold it right close to your phone. I also have this that I use often. Let me show you. I'll just pop this on here and show you. So if you're dealing with kids a lot, these are a worthwhile little investment. But yeah, you can go, I don't know if this is going to fit without my case. I can do it. So these are also really good for behind the scenes photos too. I will make this big screen actually. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, let me go full screen. Okay. So, look how dirty my screen is. Don't judge me, okay? I'm judging me. Hold on. Okay, at least it doesn't have like physical texture on it. It's just grease and fingerprints. Okay, this I just got from Amazon. I got it a long time ago. I don't even know if I have the link still. But this is really good for putting on like Paw Patrol or like Baby Shark. And then they just look at your phone. And it's great. So give it a shot. It's really good. Or just turn it so it's a camera facing them, because kids always like looking at themselves. So that's fun too. But yeah, that comes in handy. It's also, like I said, it's also good for behind the scenes video footage. Just if you do behind the scenes footage, just remember that really, really shaky video, no one wants to watch that. So try to be really stable. Yeah, if you're trying to record that. Ooh, now one thing's stuck. There we go. Okay. Oh, look how dirty my lens is. Hold on. I like totally dipped it in mud when I was like doing photos the other day. Okay. Let me go back to full screen. Full screen. I have too many screens. There we go. Actually. There we go. Okay. Priya said she just signed up for the couples posing workshop next week. Yay, thanks so much. Excited to have you there. All right. And who is here that hasn't said hello yet? Please say hello. And let me know if you guys have any questions, or if you have any comments you want to say, or if you have any other critique of something. Obviously, nice constructive criticism as always, but let me know. Join in. You guys are quiet today. I'll be your hype girl. Tell me what you're up to. I want to hype you up. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're proud of. Okay, so I see. Is this the same couple? No, they're not the same couple. You have beautiful clients, by the way. Okay, is this your studio? I'm assuming this is your studio. It's beautiful, and it's natural light, right, Priya? So same kind of thing as this photo right here is I know that they're very centered in this photo, and that's good, but so normally I like to have the best light on the girl's face if you're shooting a guy and a girl. Kind of prioritize the nice light to the girl. So I would almost have her face turn more towards us and even looking down into like this shoulder, and then have him like adoring her. Not saying I don't like these photos of them looking at each other. I like the fact that they're both just looking at each other. So you see that connection here. But another variation of this, like if this was like a movement you were doing, or how I would direct them, is like, look at each other. Okay, now put your foreheads together, both look down. And then I like how her shoulders popped up here. She could even pop it up a little bit more. Yeah, but I also think that if you shot a little bit more, so this photo on its own is great composition. I like that it's centered. But if you shot more so from like this corner of the bed, and then turn them a little bit, that you would get like some really cool light. It'd be a little bit darker, a little more moody. I know that your studio is quite bright, but you also like a little bit of mood. I can tell here. But yeah, and then I would just watch again, just a little bit of the orangey shadows, which you can either fix in Lightroom with the shadow fix into saturate, which is really good for that. And then potentially I would bump up magenta a little bit on tint here. That's just it, but editing is a personal preference. But it's looking a little bit more to the yellow greenish side for me personally, but that's just how my eye would want to go. Cassie's here. I'm chasing my 20-month-old while casting YouTube to the TV. Oh my goodness, how big is your TV? Am I like being blasted like huge on your screen? Okay, wait. You're 20-month-old. I guess I should watch what I say, right? They're probably at that stage where they might be like repeating a little bit. This is not a family-friendly show. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cussing in front of your 20-month-old. Okay. Thank you so much, Priya, for sending those in. These are beautiful. All right. Who's next here? Heather. Okay. This is going to be like a brag fest because this is more just we're just showing off now. Heather, are you here right now? Are you here lurking? Let me know. So Heather is Heather Cole Photography and Alexa. Oh, we have Alexa and we have Alexandra here. Okay, there's lots of Alexes here. I'm casted to Alexa's TV too. I feel so special. Okay, quick question. Do some of your partners know who I am? Because I get a lot of messages from people being like, oh, like my husband knows who you are and he always has to compete for my time on Tuesdays, or like anyways, I feel kind of embarrassed that like people's partners know who I am because of probably my stupid jokes and vulgar humor. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah, Heather. Okay, so this is Heather Cole Photography. I don't want to say like she's been doing this a while, but like not that long in the grand scheme of things. She is just such a perfect example of when you put your mind to something and you work your ass off and you practice, and you know what you want and you go after it. She is a perfect example of being able to grow your business in a relatively short amount of time and just fucking slay life. She's been so good. I met Heather in our Stay Inspired with Ange McCabe group. Probably maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, like tops. And we have not only become very close friends, but it's been such a treat to see her grow, and just to see her like be inspired and like really create her own aesthetic and excuse me, just like her studio. And oh, she's doing so well, and she's such an amazing part of the community as well. So be friends with Heather. There. So this is her studio. She's based out of Oregon. Just down a little hop over the ocean downward from me. I need to see her sometime this summer. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. Okay, my only critique here is that I didn't realize it was a maternity session until I looked down. Just because we're losing her tummy a little bit. So whether that's maybe turning her tummy toward us, sometimes what I'll do is like, if we're losing the tummy in the wardrobe, is really kind of smooth the dress or the skirt over the belly so that it really still like showcases it. That's the only thing I can say here, Heather. I don't think you're here right now in the event that you watch this replay back. And then I would probably do a little bit of retouching on her hair just to give a little extra something. So even like make this a little bit more swoopy. And then maybe like we have some natural movement here, push the hair down over her shoulder a little bit more. And then sometimes with dads too, just watch chin, get him to stick his chin out a little bit because I don't think he actually has an at-risk chin like myself. It's just the posing, right? So whenever I get my clients to put their chin down, especially with maternity sessions, if they look straight down at their belly, no matter how tiny they are, they're probably going to get a dub, if you know what I mean. So I get them to stick their chin out, kind of like they're like jutting it out, and then almost like peeking down and like they're trying to look at their toes is kind of what I say. And then it just helps keep that jawline out. That being said, And like so the type of retouching that I do is just like little nitpicky things. Some of the poses that I have my clients do, it makes their bodies appear not quite like they do in real life. Like, let's just say if he's like holding her arms really tight, he could, or her arms are really close to her body. When they're squished against the body, they appear bigger because they're getting squished against the body. So I'll like do like little nitpicky things. Like I'll bring it in a little bit so that they aren't instantly like, oh my God, I hate my arm, because they don't have at-risk arms like myself. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I really want that emotion in the photo. Like for example, this one, I mean, she's wearing a long sleeve shirt and there's no problem here. But if her arm was like really squished up, it might appear larger than it is. So like I would just bring it in just a little bit so that she's not like, do you know what I'm saying? That being said, you totally don't have to Photoshop people. My goal is to never Photoshop anyone beyond a reasonable amount where they're like, it's noticeable, and they're like, you never want someone to know that you've done little things, and you don't have to do these things too. And I think that there's something very freeing about just capturing people who they are and showing them their beauty for what they are. But just kind of depends on your style, depends how much, what your editing process is. Some people don't do any mods or, like major retouching at all, and that's totally fine, and their clients are happy and they're happy with their workflow, and that's freaking great. And that sounds so freeing, and I'm jealous of you. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Literally not really any critique could be happening here, Heather. This is beautiful. No, same goes for this. The only thing you could do is like add some interest by having a little bit more in the foreground. So like maybe holding up a piece of this like baby's breath or whatever it is, and just like adding a little extra, but like doesn't need it. This is great. Yeah, no critique. Maybe try not cutting off the chair, or like like having it a bit more centered, but not even, because it's sideways. I don't know. I can't even try. I can't even. Oh, this is really, really pretty. Okay. What I would do is move slightly a bit more over here so that her head is actually kind of framed by the window light, maybe. It'd be just slightly stronger, but this is gorgeous. Editing is spot on. By the way, Heather does use Evoke as well. She's like one of my huge supporters for Evoke. She always pumps me up, but she does such a good job with it. I'm like super honored that she uses my presets. So with this one, I really like this. I feel like you could get even more emotion. Not that it's like lacking, but you could even get a little bit extra if you like got her to sit a little taller, like arch her back a little bit, and then even like fully commit to like a head toss back. So this could, like, this photo on its own, it's great. If you were just doing like a few series of them to like find the one that's like the most impactful, you could even get her to like then put an arm back and really commit to the head back and get her to play with her hair. And just get her to breathe through her mouth. And I feel like that would even add a little bit extra here, but this is like, it's great. Ooh. See, I almost like how like subtle these are. So like, I know I said toss the hair back, it might end up being slightly more like sexual, but I kind of like the quiet intimacy of these as well. So I maybe take that back. They would still be good, but these together as like a set of photos, it's like a quietness to them that I really, really like. Heather's is h.coel, Koell photography. I think that was right. Yeah, it's great. Baby! This baby's so cute. Nice job on the wrapping too, Heather. My only critique would be, so in this particular pose, I don't really have anything that I could do to, I will do a newborn wrapping video one day. But in this particular pose, if you actually, so we're shooting off the baby's nose, and I know when Heather sent me this photo, she's like, I sent you a baby photo and you're going to grill me on the nostrils. So for the most part, when I'm shooting babies, try not to shoot up the nostrils. But in this particular pose, and it's a little bit harder, can be hard on moms, especially if you hold it for a long time because of their like core and just having a baby, or especially if they just had a C-section. So just be really cautious when you're getting your clients to hold poses, especially fresh postpartum mamas. But I actually hold them so that you can kind of see this way, that their head is like here and their body you actually push back a little bit, kind of push back into you so that their body actually looks even tinier. I will do a newborn day. I'm really bad with having like a visual to show you guys. But there's a lot of nuances that go into newborn photography. But Heather does a really beautiful mix of like lifestyle posed without like the you know, putting time into like the nice wraps and stuff like that. So I really like what you've done, Heather. This is the over the shoulder, I'm assuming. So I'm just gonna rotate this photo for a sec. Heather, I think I like the photo rotated. I don't know if it was just like that because of the way it got sent, but this is really pretty. And I really like that headband. There's no critique to be done here. Another little variation that you could do, Heather, I know you're not here right now, but I'm just pretending like you are, is like then add in like an extra element of like a hand on baby, or like maybe like booping the baby's nose. I always like the nose boops. Those are always good. And then too, babies when they're sleeping can sometimes smile if you like brush their cheeks. So that's, you know, sometimes if you're just really patient, especially if mom or dad or whoever's holding baby is really comfortable holding the baby, then you can be patient. And this is like a really nice pose to get different facial expressions too. And then shooting from all the different angles of this. So shooting, mom's holding baby here. So shooting over her shoulder, maybe having like her face looking down. And then I'm sure that Heather probably did this anyways, shooting from different angles, like different perspectives. And then maybe like dad peering over the shoulder too, both just like adoring baby. I'm sure she did this. I'm sure the whole gallery is just fucking great. But yeah, this is so nice. Thank you for sending those, Heather. Okay. What is next here? Anne Marie in the house. She's here right now. Anne Marie is Little Red Wolf Photography on Instagram. Anne Marie, go ahead and slap your Instagram down there so people can follow you. I've had the pleasure of knowing Anne Marie for, has it been 5 years, Anne Marie, in your lovely birthday post to me? That was so sweet. I think it's been 5 years. Anne Marie helps out so much in the group. She helps out on my social media. She was a client. I shot her wedding, and then she picked up photography about a year and a half ago and we did like a really long mentorship. It was a lot of fun. And it's been really cool. When I first started working with her, it was for a completely different genre of photography. And now she has completely blossomed into this like boudoir babe who like does all these beautiful empowerment sessions. And yeah, she's so great. She also is trained in yoga to be a yoga instructor. So she really connects with women who also do yoga. So that's really cool. She has a way with people. And I definitely feel like you have found your place here in the world. So thank you. I'm so happy we're friends. There we go. Okay, so let's go in here. As you can see, for the most part, except for a couple of them, these are all just beautiful females. All right. And she's wearing the golden brown. Wait, is this a golden brown inspired gown? I'm not ever going to stop. Won't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop, Anne Marie. I'll always talk nice about you. Okay, so with this one, it's beautiful. I like the light. It's peeking through. I maybe watched the reds a little bit, but there's also like something to be said about this session. Yeah, this is the golden brown dress. Okay, perfect. The light was really intense here. So if that's what you're going for, is like that real like intensity of that like couple minutes before the sun hits the crest of the earth, then yeah, then roll with it. I would maybe knock off red just a tiny bit. You could bring her shoulder up even like a little bit more and really like make love to that shoulder, and it would add even a little bit more. Get her to breathe through her mouth a bit, toss that hair back. But it's beautiful. I really like this. This is the navy, the midnight blue dress. Anne Marie's got a couple of these in her client closet. And a beautiful bouquet from Bespoke Blossoms, which my fat head is covering up. Let's move that. There we go. I really like this. And she's got really nice feet. I'm just looking at like the like pose and the angle of her feet. Like this is good, especially because there's a lot of attention drawn to them. I also like that we see a lot of her leg here, but we're not instantly, I know this sounds like maybe kind of pervy, but not pervy, is I'm always very wary of like crotch shots, but this one you've done a really nice job of covering it in such a tasteful way that it's not like You know what I'm saying? Like it looks so good, and I like that we see her full leg. It's great. And I like the gap here too. Because if you didn't know, our inspired gown is actually a 3-piece dress. So you has a skirt and 2 different tops. Yeah. She's an RMT in Comox. Oh, amazing. So the only thing I'd say here, Anne-Marie, is just watch the shadows. You can use Shadow Fix and Desaturate on those a little bit. But I think that this is probably just after the sun went down and you're getting that golden glow, right, of the sun, I'm assuming. Really beautiful. You photographed some of the most beautiful women. You have taken daisies here and you have shot through them, haven't you? This is really pretty. I would maybe, so it looks like she, it's either her natural skin tone is a little bit darker, or she's also, or has a really pretty tan. But I would maybe knock down exposure a little bit on her face, just so that the highlights aren't quite so white, and then she matches the rest of her body just a little bit. That's the only thing I would do. And then maybe, yeah, just watch the shadows again, just so they're a little bit hot, shall we say. But this is beautiful. I love the pose. Is great. So good. Beautiful. You're amazing. Okay. Let's see here. I like, this was a longboard session, right? I'm assuming. So cute. Wait, these were your friends, right? These are your friends that you shot, right? Let me know. I would probably, she kind of looks like she's staring. She's not looking at us, but we're losing a little bit in her eyes, I think, is what I would do. So maybe either get her to close them or like have her smiling a little bit. It's almost like she's like about to like laugh or smile. Oh, really quickly, Anne-Marie said about this photo, she has dark skin, but her makeup was quite light. So that really helps for adjusting her face. Yeah, I would still go in here just with a brush and just decrease exposure a bit, play around with shadows, even just decrease your whites will also help with that. That being said, you could also bump up the skin a little bit here, like the lightness, just to kind of like meet in the middle a little bit. And then when it comes to this photo, Anne-Marie said, yeah, that's my bestie. We had 5 minutes for the session. Well, then how do I even critique that? Because this is great. You cut off his feet a little bit here, but other than that, it's beautiful. Sometimes it's also hard shooting friends because you're like, you feel kind of weird about it. I don't know about you guys. Like sometimes I feel slightly weird just because you already have like that like funny connection. So yeah, sometimes shooting friends can be slightly more challenging. This is really beautiful. What lens did you use here? It doesn't have any EXIF data. This is your 50, Anne-Marie? This is really pretty. I really like that lens flare. That's good. That's good lens flare. This is fucking great. I would say you could have probably added a little bit more here if you just had her knee sticking out just a touch. But I don't know. She's having a moment and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy I'm witnessing this moment. This is good. No critiques. This is on Mount Doug, I'm assuming. I know that tree right there. It's beautiful. I maybe watch the red, but I know that your feed, like you really lean into the red. So I'm not telling you to change. It's just like, you know, how we all edit differently. That's just the only thing I would do is just probably touch that. But if you're leaning into it, I'm not going to tell you otherwise. Anne-Marie says, I died when I saw that flare. I know, it's like perfection. Really, really good. Same session. This is really beautiful. And her earrings are amazing. I would get her to lean back a little bit. So put the arm a little bit further back and it will like pop her shoulders a little bit more forward. Just kind of like let her like sink into herself a bit more and be in like, she's obviously in the moment, but like she would feel more in the moment if she was looking a little bit more relaxed. Yeah, you're rocking this, Anne-Marie. Considering you also have not been doing this for very long at all. Same girl. Frick, you shoot all these goddesses. No critique other than maybe drop down a little bit lower so that this, I know that you don't really have a true horizon here. Just so it frames her a little bit more. If you moved a little bit and actually she covered the sun, I would like to see if you had some from that because it's really interesting to see almost the same photo, but like taken just by moving yourself a little bit and just seeing how different they can be. So let me know if you have a series from this set. I'd love to see them. Really, really pretty. Editing is really nice here too. Okay, well, this is cute. Same couple. I think we're getting a bit of a flare here from her glasses, and I don't not like it. Do you know what I'm saying? The only thing is it is a little bit destructive on his nose. We kind of lose his nose. But next time, so I think that is just reflection, right? That's not the actual. Yeah, so I think that's reflection of the sun through her lens shining into our camera. But yeah, so when I like it. I think it adds a little bit extra sparkle. And when you're pulled out, I think it's fine. When I'm intentionally moving around and looking for a lens or a beam of light directly in between my clients, I kind of find a little pocket of light, and I make sure that we're not losing data on major facial features that we want to still be there. So normally like noses. So just kind of move around and play and see, look at the back of your camera a lot. And usually I'll change my settings just for having that light right into my camera, so that it's exposed properly, obviously. So yeah, Anne-Marie says yes, it's from her glasses. And about this photo here, Anne-Marie says that she does have some photos like that. Perfect. Okay. Well, this is beautiful. You're like rocking these dresses too. These are so pretty. The only thing I could say is maybe liquefy her hair a little bit. Just give a little extra. Could have been like, it's not necessary, but we already have the movement there. You could probably make it a little bit more. And then if you could try to actually have connection with the knee, it might have a different feel. But I love this photo. This is great. This is really nice. So the crop is slightly, so I'm not one to like be nitpicking on crops, and I'll crop every which way. I feel like I want it to be, it's almost square, but not quite. But if you made this square, it would cut off her toes. But I would maybe extend this just a little bit to like here. If you were going to do a print or something of this, just so that she's on the rule of thirds and not quite centered, because she's almost centered here. This is really nice. Okay. Same session. Beautiful. I would have popped her right here in this little beam of light right there, and then not had the mode line there from the grass. Anne-Marie showed me those photos. She says, I have another one where there's connection to the knee, slightly different angle. Yeah, I'd love to see those. But that's beautiful. Like, I'm critiquing, so I have to say stuff. But it's also a brag fest because these are awesome photos. She's like such a goddess. Just horizon is the only thing. And then getting her maybe in here. If you were having a hard time, because Anne-Marie's a shorty. She's vertically challenged a little bit. So if you have ever tried bringing a little stepladder to your sessions, it can help. Especially on like land like this that's nice and like quite flat. If it's not a pain in the ass to bring. But yeah. Because that way you could shoot a little bit down. So if you, Anne-Marie, shot in here, and maybe you did, I don't know. If you shot in here, got on a stepladder, and shot so that she was actually behind her was like this green trees, like the dark of these trees was higher, she would have like this like beautiful rim light all the way around her, and she would pop even more from the photo. That's like some of my favorite photos are the ones where there's like darkness behind them, but we still have the light like peeking in from the top, and like they're perfectly framed. There's a lot of dimension in the photo. But that's really nice. Ooh, so Anne-Marie has been apprenticing, or I guess, I don't know what your role is, Anne-Marie, what officially is associate shooting, I think, for Molly from Moss Boudoir. So she's getting some really good experience, building up a lot of confidence in the boudoir department, and she's fucking slaying. She's so good. This is beautiful, and I like the light, how it's intentionally just like on her face and the rest is kind of dark. It's mysterious and I like it. The only thing that I would do is, because her foot is coming at us, I look at her foot a lot, and because she's also putting pressure on her foot, her toes are kind of splaying out just a little bit. So I would maybe, and then they're also closer to the camera, so it gets bigger. I would maybe in Photoshop just like bring her toes in just a little bit. But that's just me. I'm like nitpicky with shit like that. Another thing is I would have pulled back just slightly more so that the crop isn't quite so close to the edge of her head and her toe. And then you would get a little bit more rule of thirds too. So if, you pulled back a little bit, she was on the rule of thirds here, and then maybe had something here, whoopsies, here just for interest. there we go, something else here in the foreground would add just like a little extra something. But yeah, I do a little bit of a pullback. I always like to shoot a little bit further back because that way you have the room to crop and pull in if you wanted to. But yeah, you can't really add, you can extend backgrounds, but you can't really, it's a lot harder to create like extremities and stuff, right? I shot those on a 35. This is my first time using that lens. Yeah, you've been using a 50 millimeters, so that's awesome. It's nice, hey? It's nice using a 35. Okay. This is beautiful. I love that lens flare. It's fucking great. It's so good. But no critique on it other than like the same as the other photo from the similar time there. Okay. Oh, I'm zoomed in. Oh, this is pretty. Okay. The only thing I would have done, so other than editing a little bit just in those shadows, they're a little bit hot. And I know that the sun went down here and this is like that beautiful glow, which I love. Get her to breathe through her mouth and just do, I know that you do a lot of breath work with your clients, Anne-Marie, especially with that yoga background. But yes, I would just get her to breathe through her mouth and just practice like a few really deep breaths and like exhaling. And I think that you would feel that like movement. Actually, do you know what I would do? Is I would do a GIF of her taking like a really deep breath and just like breathing in life. I feel like would be really freaking cool. Okay, I've seen this photo before that Anne-Marie sent me. This is beautiful. This photo I really like. When you pull it kind of back a little bit more, it almost looks like this like beam of light is like coming out of her body. Like there's just like getting like resurrected or something in like the most beautiful way. And it's just pulling up right where like her rib cage is pulling up, and I really love it. The back arch, freaking great. I like that we like see her tushy, but it's not like we're not like drawn to it where it's like, it's just very feminine and beautiful, and I really love it. The toes, everything is so good. I like that you took this toe and kind of crossed it underneath a little bit. And I like her arms back. This is great. I love this so much. I would just maybe pull back just a little bit so her toe isn't quite so close to the edge. And then as like a motion, I would get her to then take this hand and kind of drag it down her head and then like maybe onto her like chest or something just for variety. And then we see a little bit more of her face. If you got her to also breathe through her mouth, because here it does look like she's also taking a deep breath, right? Because of this pose, could also add just a little extra. It's really nice. And the editing is like chef's kiss. Beautiful, Anne-Marie. Okay. That is it for photo critiques. Let's move along here. Thank you for sending those, Anne-Marie. I love you so much. You're so talented. Okay, let's move along here to some editing. We got Alex had sent me some photos. Alex Ray. And we are... Hold on a second. Okay. We're going to go to develop, and we're going to do a couple GIFs here. So perfect. These two are hers. Yeah, it's Alex Ray, not Alexa Ray, because that's my bad. We're going to edit them. I'm assuming she sent them for me to edit, and then we're going to make a couple GIFs. So I will show you. Let's do it. Okay. So let's go ahead and, oh, you're so welcome, Anne-Marie. Don't be questioning yourself. You're doing amazing. Also, if you guys are ever having a hard time with editing, and you're like, feel like you're going crazy, take a break and revisit. If you're doing this at nighttime, if you're editing at nighttime, just shut her down and start in the morning, because chances are if you're like having a really hard time and you're editing it at night and your eyes are tired, you're probably not going to be happy with it in the morning either. So work smarter, not harder. If you need a break, you need a break. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and apply evoke. So also I want to probably make sure that we bring back the proper color to this red truck. So we'll do that after, but for right now, we're just going to focus on the couple. Beautiful photo. I like the composition a lot. I like the foreground, midground, background. It's all great. Okay. Base preset. Let us go. Actually, I'm going to turn off my lights when I edit. Sometimes it's harder to, there we go. Anne-Marie said, my screen calibration is off and I've tried to fix it without success. Ah, fuck. I'm so sorry. I hate screen calibration. I feel like I'm lucky. I haven't had to calibrate this screen. It was perfect. It was chef's kiss right out of the box. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bump up my shadows, but I do want this to still stay moody. I am going to apply my natural vignette. What are we going to do here? Maybe I might actually bring down, hold on. What was the tint at? It was at minus, hold on. It was at -4 to begin with. I might actually bring it down just a little bit more. Not much, like -8. Bump up my shadows a bit more. A little bit of contrast, a little bit of dehaze. And do you know what I might actually do? I'm going to decrease exposure altogether, and then I'm going to do a radial filter on them. So don't worry about them right now, okay? Don't worry. I'm going to go down here to my HSL sliders, and I might go to hue and change up the red of the truck a bit. Luminance, bring it down. Saturation, bring it down as well a little bit. Do I want, hold on. I feel like it's getting a little bit punchy down there. Okay, that's fine. Now we'll do radial filter. Bloop, bloop, bloop. So all of your adjustment brushes, if you have made your own, or if you edit with Evoke and you have the custom brushes here, you can use them on radial filters or linear filters as well, not just brushes, in case you didn't know. Okay, so I'm going to bump up my highlights a little bit. So the light in my office is constantly changing right now, and it's screwing up my eyeballs. Hold on. Okay, that helped a little bit. Okay, so I actually, okay, you know what it is? We're getting red reflection from the inside of the truck on their skin. So that's where the issue is coming from. So I'm actually going to fix that. But I realized when I dropped my temperature or the tint down that it made their skin a little bit green. So I'm just looking, now that I'm zoomed in, I'm going to bump up my magenta just a little bit there. Add some contrast and dehaze. There we go. Now I'm going to go in with a brush. And I'm going to do brush on. And I'm gonna just go with the opposite of red, or like magenta, which is green. And then specifically on those areas. Oh, this is a little tricky. That reflected light is tricky, Alex. Oh, what am I gonna do? Let's see here. Okay, we're working on it. We will fix this. We will fix this. Okay, what are we gonna do here? We're gonna do remove the red. Okay, that was maybe a little bit too much. So remove the red, you guys might not have, because I created it after I made Evoke, but it will be in my next pack. There we go. That's pretty good. Maybe one more brush. So I wouldn't do this to all of these photos in the set. I would pick like your favorites, and then do them, Alex, because it was a lot of work. But let's see here. Yeah, that's nice. It's a lot of work. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to decrease vibrance a little bit here too. Maybe. I'm just struggling with the tones here is all. Maybe take a brush. I feel like I'm spending too much time on this photo. Bloop, 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 bloop. I just don't want quite so much magenta there. We'll just go a little bit more. Oh man, I'm struggling. Your girl's struggling. There we go. Decrease exposure. No. We struggling. Okay, well, let's look at the before and after anyways. That's not bad. It's a little bit on the orangey side there. I think I'm done. I think I need to move on. This is really pretty though. Remove the red would be amazing. Yeah, I will be releasing that because it's a good one. And then let's see here. You can actually bring your tint down a little bit. It's still nice. A little bit of contrast. Nice. Let's move on to this one. I would still fret around with that, but I've been on for a very long time and we still need to make GIFs. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to crop in. So it's kind of right at her knees. So I'm going to crop in just a little bit higher. And then we have the rule of thirds here, right on her face, which is good. So we'll do that. And we're going to go base preset. I'm going to go dehaze. I'm going to go tint. So this is Evoke, obviously. Move my tint up a little bit here too. Contrast, dehaze, increase exposure, add some natural vignette. Bloop. Shadows. Linear gradient. We're going to go like that, and we're going to go golden glow. And maybe I'll even increase it a bit more. A little bit of tint. There we go. Done. That's a nice edit. I like that. Is Alex still here? Yes, she is. That's what I had a hard time with too. Yeah, Alex, so I would like find your, what I would do is if you do a bunch of these brushes, like if you are doing a lot, like let's just say even like, I don't know, I would really cull it down and pick the absolute best of these photos because there's gonna be a lot of skin retouching from that red reflected light. And then you can actually just copy and paste your brushes from each picture onto the next if it's a lot. Obviously it's annoying to like change them up, but like, yeah, I would pick just the best ones and then really spend the time fixing those. Yeah, that's what I would do. Okay, let's go ahead and then make this GIF. Those are beautiful photos though. Thank you so much for sending those. Alex said that's what I ended up doing. Oh good, it's like we're same. Okay, so this is a session that I did the other day. This awesome couple, I had so much fun with them. We're gonna make a GIF, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply my base preset. Let's do natural vignette. We are going to increase exposure, a little bit of dehaze, temperature, and tint. A little bit, not too much, that's too much. There we go, increase exposure again, and maybe contrast. A little dehaze. I'm just like verbal diarrhea-ing. Okay, and then maybe just knock back that temperature actually a little bit. Just looking at their skin and making sure that it's not, they're not going too orangey. I feel like they might be, just a touch. Yeah, that's good. So one thing that I realized that I really have a hard time with, I'm also going to decrease the blue a little bit on our jeans, is when I envision this session, because I picked out this spot where I think I have one over here. It's all like dead trees and like stumps everywhere. So when I picked this spot and we did the styling for it and like decided what we were gonna do, I was like, in my head, I'm thinking like gray, like super gray. Everything's gonna be like moody. But I have a really freaking hard time not editing warm. And I still wanted it like warm, but for some reason in my head, I was struggling so hard. So like, I don't know if I'll end up playing around with these more and like coming up with a different vibe for them. But these photos ended up being quite warm. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Anne Marie. They are the cutest. They're getting married next year and they're like, their wedding's gonna be amazing. They have such a good connection. I'm pretty certain this won't be the last time I shoot them. Okay. So that's pretty good there for editing. This is gonna be a GIF, so I'm not gonna go in and do any like radial filters or anything like that. I was pretty steady when I took these photos, so I could technically use a radial filter and it'd be fine. But if I was going in and doing any like detailing with brushes and stuff, you don't want to do that when you're making a GIF because it would just look too noticeable. The variations from photo to photo. So I'm gonna go ahead and just copy and paste. So I actually have two GIFs very close. One's pulled in a little bit more. Oh, I did actually move a little bit in these photos, but here they are. I hate Lightroom for how slow it is, but you can see them like turning into each other, playing handsies, that kind of thing. My Lightroom's being slow. Oh, great. I freaking hate Lightroom. Okay. Okay, here we are. This is the next one. It's a little, pretty much the same pose, but I just wanted to make sure I always like to do things a couple times, so we'll see which one ends up better. I'm just going to go ahead and sync those. The settings were essentially the same for this one, so it's fine. The only thing that's kind of crappy is there's like a little flag here in the tree, like a construction flag or whatever, which I do not like, but I just don't give a shit. We're gonna leave it. Okay, and those are fine. Now I have one more GIF here too from them. And I want to make sure that their hair stays gray-ish, that kind of bluish color. So let's go. This is going to be a little tricky because I want it to be moody. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's see. Do we want vignette? Yeah, we do. Let's go mood. Yeah. and then shadows. I'm gonna actually take a linear gradient and just like lighten it up just a little bit down here. That's good. And then maybe just a touch of tint. Bring my highlights down just a bit, a little bit of contrast. Yeah, that's good. Oh, just a quick little before and after on these two. I didn't really want green in this photo either. So Evoke does get rid of some of the green, but if you wanted to bring it back, just bring in some yellow. That's quite nice. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste those settings, but I'm also going to do the masking. That one was a linear gradient, so it's the variation is fine from photo to photo, whereas if it was a brush, it probably wouldn't be okay. So there we go. And then let's do these ones. Okay, I don't like that I cut off her knees, but we're going to roll with it here. Let's go vignette. Let's go just a touch of tint here. Contrast. And dehaze, because that's always good. Maybe I want to go like... Yeah, let's go a little moody, and then I'm going to go and take a brush, and I'm going to put it on Allison's face here a little bit. There we go, a little bit of highlights. And then I'm going to put it on Sierra's face here too, just a little bit. Bloop. Okay. And then I'm going to actually knock down temperature just a little bit because it's a little bit warm. I'm okay with their face being in shadows a little bit, but I just want to make sure I don't lose detail. So that is okay. And I did vignette. Yeah, that's good. I would be happy with that. There's a before and after, but see what I'm saying? It's still very warm. I might actually knock the blue down on her pants a little bit. Let's do that. Whoopsies. Okay. And then I'm just going to copy and paste those settings. Sync. And I'm going to leave the masks off. Okay. So this one we hid Sierra a little bit too much. I think I should have had them on a little bit more on the side, but anyways, it was freaking cold and they were like both freezing their buns off, so there we go. Just increasing highlights just a little bit, or sorry, increasing the shadows just a touch. Oh, I don't like the way I cropped this or the way I set it up. Their nose is like, looks like it's touching her glasses, but that's okay. What can I do? It's not a throwaway. I still like it. I'm allowed to critique myself too. I'm not exempt from this. Okay, that's good. I think crop is pretty good too. Maybe just like this, just slightly. Oopsies, what did I do? Yeah, that's good. Before and after. I like the mood on this one. Oh, actually, I'd probably just take a brush here. One more brush. Boop. And go. There we go. Make it a little bit warmer back there, just a tiny bit. Oops. And decrease exposure just a bit. There we go. It was a little bit bright. Can I do this here too? Yeah, let's go there. The highlights were a little bit bright. Okay, beautiful. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go and export all of these ones minus Alex's, and I'm gonna export them at I'm gonna put them in a subfolder. I always just go Lightroom edits, and I'm gonna export them quality 100 sRGB. Always make sure it's sRGB, and I'm gonna resize to fit 2048 pixels on the long edge. That's all I'm gonna do. Export those. Those will take a minute. I need to clean up my hard drive is really full again, so I either need to get my guy that I get to bang. Might need to bang him for a new hard drive. Am I frozen, or my computer's struggling right now? Need a new hard drive. I think I'm freezing. Sorry about that. So 4 hours sleep. So that's why I needed that sugar from the cake for the energy today. Okay, let me know in the comments. Am I freezing? Is this just like If you guys are still tuned in and you caught me a little bit later on and didn't, while we're waiting here, I might as well talk about it. My online posing workshop is on the 22nd and 23rd of this month. So next week, I'm so excited for it. It's $20 if you can catch it live. The $20 also includes I am freezing. Damn it. Is the audio freezing too? My computer is struggling. I'll just wait. This is, you totally froze, and then unfortunately it banged him for a new hard drive. I'll just wait for these to unfreeze. Is my audio freezing, or is it just my video? Let me know. Okay, they're almost done. They're almost done. Okay, we better now? I think we're better. Sorry guys, sorry about that. That was obviously a new hard drive. Audio and video. Okay, we're good now though, right? Everything is good? Everything is good? Sorry about that. Actually, you know what it is? My downloads are currently going to my C drive, and your C drive is the one that, you know, runs your computer, essentially. So I need to clean up I just need to clean up my computer. It's overdue. It needs a spring of cleaning. Okay, what am I gonna do? Where's my just the tip photos? There we go, March 15th. Okay, so here we go. Here is our folder that we just did. Really quickly, before I forget. No, we'll do that after. Okay, so these are all 2048 pixels. I would go in and I'm just gonna delete those actually, because they're not full res. I never want to edit a photo that's not full res. If I want a web size file afterwards, that's when we do it. So really quickly in Lightroom, I should be able to, hold on. I'm just gonna quickly export these at regular size. Export. So that I don't forget. Lightroom. There we go. It shouldn't freeze. It has 2 pictures to do. Okay. I'm back. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go GIF 1. Making folders. GIF 1. This is when I do lots of GIFs. This is how I do it. GIF 2. GIF 3. Okay, so now I'm gonna click and make those ones all GIF 1, these ones all GIF 2, and these ones all GIF 3. Okay, so now what we do is we go into Photoshop. I'm just gonna whip it over here for uno momento. Nope. Okay. Bring these over. Oh, I have so many photos open in Photoshop. That also could be why. Okay, bear with me, guys. Oh, hold on. I missed pages. Oh, I had photos. They didn't make it to my... Okay. Paige sent me really quickly. Here, I'm going to make this GIF, and then I'm going to do a photo critique with Paige. I just forgot to open her photos up in Photo Mechanic. Damn it. Okay, that's all right. So when you make a GIF, you go to File, and you go Scripts, and you go to Load Files into Stack. And then here you can do Files or Folder. I'm going to go pick a folder, but I always like to hide my folder for a sec, just in case it has like client's boudoir photos or something. I don't want to accidentally flash the world. Just the Tip Tuesday. There we go. And March 15th. Okay, so then we go here. I'm going to pull up my GIF 1 folder. There we go. And it's going to load them. It's just, oh, sorry, this is here. And then I want to go attempt to automatically align source images and click OK. So this is going to take a minute. My computer might, my silly computer might freeze again, like the stream, but Gonna let it do its thing. Question for your action that resizes. I found the images lose their color, use color once it's run. Is that normal? Yeah, it should not. The only thing that it does is like resizes it. Are you saving it? Have you recently updated your Lightroom and Photoshop? Because sometimes it resets to RGB. So when you save it, it saves as RGB, and that's where you're going to see that color difference. But the action itself just resizes it. It shouldn't change the color. And I haven't heard, I'm not devaluing what you're saying. I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't valid, but I haven't come across that yet. And I use that action all the time. And I haven't found that true for myself. So I think it might be in your saving. When you're saving it, make sure that it's selected as sRGB. Okay. But let me know. Follow up with me on that. I want to know. So here we can see I should have maybe used a GIF with less images. Once it gets going, it'll be fine though. So the thing I really like about GIFs is they're kind of like a cross between photo and video, obviously, but they draw a lot more emotion like video would. They're interesting, they're eye-catching. People spend more time looking at them on your feed. They're just fun. They're good for like cropping and making for stories and whatnot. Holy smokes, my computer net is never this slow. This is slow. This is slow. Damn it. That's okay. We'll just keep talking. Yeah, let me know about that, Heather. But yeah, GIFs are fun to make if you've never tried them before. I do have a really cheap $15 workshop on creating GIFs, and it also comes with images so that you can try as well. Sometimes if you don't have the images, like you buy it because you're like, I want to do one, but then like you're just excited to make one, but you don't have the images to make a GIF from yet. You know, I feel like this is really bad. I feel like I want to like cancel this because, is it working? Holy smokes. No, I canceled it. Okay, I'm just going to open up a different one. I'm going to open up the one that was a lot smaller. Sorry about that. I don't want to make you guys wait. So I'm going to go GIF 3. This one is smaller and this one won't take as long. There we go. See how it's only like, I don't know, 10 photos or so. This one won't take long. There we go. It's doing its thing. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions about anything. I'm so excited for the workshop. I'm so stoked. It's going to be good. And then I haven't like officially announced it yet, but I'm going to be doing a boudoir one. I don't know if it's going to be next, but I'm starting to prepare for it and I'm so stoked. Okay, so here we go. Our files are all loaded. I'm going to go Window, Timeline, and I'm going to click Create Frame Animation. And then over here to, oh, I don't know, I'll move my head. There we go. I'll move my, there we go. And then you go over here to this little box and go Make Frames from Layers. So now mine always go backwards. So I always have to go here and select Reverse Frames. Not that this motion could be front or back and it'd be fine. And then I obviously have to crop. And I'm also going to change the duration here. So I'm going to go 0.2. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to have to crop in. So here we go. GIFs, unless you're like on a tripod, inevitably you're going to move to some degree. So make sure you're pulled back a little bit further, or make sure that you're okay to crop in. So you can see I'm going to have to crop a little bit more than planned. But that's okay. I obviously wasn't as still as I thought. Normally I'm pretty good at like consciously staying still, but that's fine. It's a little bit wonky, but it's still effective. I like it. There. So then what we do after that is we go, and I'm happy with the speed and stuff. If you need to do it, sometimes I'll do like 0.15, or I'll go like this and then go other and then go 0.15 is usually kind of like a good, it's still fast, but not super slow. Nikki says, I'm late as usual, but I just want to pop in and say hi. Happy belated birthday, Ange. Aw, thanks so much. Appreciate you being here. Are you here to stay? I'll be on here for a few more minutes, but thanks for popping in, Nikki. Hopefully we'll see you next week. We're not going to have Just the Tip Tuesday because it's workshop time, which I'm super excited for. Okay, file, export. I always like to save my GIFs as both a GIF and a video so that I don't ever want to have to make the same GIF over again. So here we go. Here's my settings. These are all, you can just copy them here if you want to. I never change them, so therefore it's just quick and easy. I'm going to go over here and save it to the correct folder. Libraries. Oh yeah, my C drive is a hurting girl right now. I gotta fix that. Okay, March 15th. Jeff 3. Okay, it's just doing its thing, and then I'm also going to go file, export, render video. I'm gonna save it as GIF 3. Vid for video, so I know it's video, and then I'm just going to change where it's going to over here. And then I always check them before I exit out. I always double check them to make sure that they exported fine, because, you know, I've done that one too many times where they were shitty and then I had to redo them completely again. So here's the GIF. If you just double click the GIF, it pops up in like a little explore thing, which is good. You can drag and drop this, send this to yourself in Facebook Messenger. That's how I send myself everything, through Facebook Messenger. And then I also have the video version of it, which if I just save this to my phone, obviously it doesn't loop. It doesn't loop when it's a video like a GIF does. But if you were to upload this to Instagram, Instagram automatically loops videos again. So yes, if you need to use video, that's how you can do it. And it has the black bars. You can change your crop when you save it. Like when you're actually in the saving method in Photoshop, but I'm just lazy. So then because I need to change it consistently, based on my weird crop that I did. So it's just easier for me to save it with the black bars and then crop it like in my iPhone, in my photo stream. Way easier. There we go. So those GIFs I'll have to do later because I need to clear up my computer, but, I'm going to pull up Pages. I need to go here for a sec. Paige sent me the files and I need to do it here. Oh, geez. Sometimes when I stop talking for a second, all I think of is, holy shit, I talk a lot. Okay, here's Paige's. So her photography is Robin Page Photography, but her name is Paige. She's a lovely human. Robin Page Photography on Instagram. Check her out. She's amazing. She does a ton of boudoir and she's so inspiring. She's so inspiring. Okay. This is another scenario where she's just going to send me a bunch of beautiful photos and it ends up just being a big brag fest because her photos are so freaking good. So this is our inspired gown in cream. And I'm obsessed with this session, everything about it. It's so soft and muted and subtle and romantic and still and like soft and but moody, but not like, I just love it. I have no comments here. This is beautiful. Like maybe crop in just a little bit so that she's a little bit more in the center, but I would probably then extend the background up a little bit so that it's not cutting off her head. But anyways, I just had to say something. It's beautiful. It's freaking great. Same couple, or same mama here, I think. I think so, yeah. Beautiful. I love the handsies. I feel like she could be like maybe looking at him too and like adoring his face. Well, this is just like a movement you could do, right? Get them like playing handsies, but then also like maybe drawing on her tummy would be a really cute thing you could do here too. This is just really beautiful. Thanks for posting that, Anne-Marie. That's really nice of you. Yeah, I just love them. And he's got really good hair too. This is beautiful. I love it. And the tones of their skin. Nice. Cuties. I like their dog and their kid. They look really cute. I like the location too. The only thing I would do is probably the horizon's going like right at their head. It's really cutting the photo in half. So either shoot lower or get up a little bit higher maybe. But I really like it. And I like that it's like, it just feels like a Vancouver winter / spring you know, overcast day, and I feel it. It's got good feelings. No critique on the posing or anything. It's good. Actually, sure, I can give you a critique here. Normally, when you're shooting multiple people, if you can get their heads at different heights, so maybe get like mom leaning into dad, and then the baby like standing up on her lap or like in between her knees or something like that, just for like height variation. Sometimes you can, if you're dealing with just 3 people, let's say the dog wasn't here, but the dog obviously is part of the family and is a subject here, but try to like get their heads into triangles if you can, or like, what's a rhombus? Like kind of a sideways, a smooshed rectangle is also good. Okay, but it's a beautiful photo. Okay, this wedding is so stunning. I forget the whole story behind this, and I want to hear more. I don't think that you're here right now, Paige, but we'll talk later. This is so beautiful. The only thing I would do, and I love that like his jacket's all wet too. I would get her to turn her head. I like that their noses are touching, but I think if you just turned her head just slightly towards us, just a little bit more, so that we get a little bit more light on her face here. But this is just beautiful. This is stunning. Looks like we have more from that wedding, but they're kind of mixed up here. Here Paige goes, rocking the boudoir. Maternity boudoir. I love it. Okay. I really like the light and shadows here. I would just be, I like that we can see her eyes, but the way it is, it's a little bit like a mask, which if that's the look you were going for, that's awesome. I like that you can see the pattern here too from the curtain. But I personally would probably either have like move both of her eyes into one strip, but you know what? It kind of looks like almost like a bunny mask. Like I could picture like ears being up here because of those, I don't know. I'm getting like that, like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but you know, like the Playboy bunny ears. I like it. This is beautiful. I like it a lot. It's very artsy. Okay, another one. I don't have any critique. This is beautiful. I love the mist. It's like clean, and the colors are beautiful. Composition, the perfect rule of thirds. This is beautiful. I really love her dress. It's stunning. This is super unrelated, but did you edit the photo that Jill sent in? I only asked because I'm pretty sure she had the same issue I did with Evoke in the last workshop group, but I could also be mistaken. I didn't get any photos from Jill right now. What are you talking about though? What issue did you have with Evoke? Let me know. Same issue I did with Evoke. What was the issue? Sorry, refresh my memory. I got a big old can of dinosaur bones up here in my brain. Yeah, I didn't get any photos from Jill today. I didn't see any. Okay, this one. Paige, I do not have. There's no critique here. This is beautiful. It's almost like oil painting. Like, I really, really, really love it. It's really good. There's a line here. I don't know if that's like the wall or something like that, but maybe get rid of it, but it's also not necessary. I like it. Baby, a nice close-up. I don't have your XF data here, but I would shoot, if you were a little bit more of like, you're probably like f1.4 or something here. I go a little bit more so you can see a little bit more detail on the like lips and nostrils a little bit maybe, but that's about it. I love this. I get baby fever. Okay, I like this one, and I like how close up it is. As a series of photos, I would also like to see her maybe with her forehead on baby's forehead, and then noses touching noses would be really sweet too. Or like using her other hand to like have on the baby's chest, or like kind of like tracing the baby's nose or like cheek or something like that would be really sweet too. But beautiful editing. Skin tones are like spot on, my friend. Okay, you just like slayed this wedding. I like literally, this is amazing. Rule of thirds. I mean, it's slightly off rule of thirds, but like not much. I love the depth here. The interest is gorgeous. Maybe pull back just a bit so you don't cut off the shadow, or the reflection of their heads. But like, I'm just being critiquey. This is beautiful. And they would be so thrilled, I'm sure. Okay, so this is another close. Is this the same photo, just to crop in? I need to crop in more. just some photos being almost washed out. I think I solved my problem, but I had seen she commented on your Facebook. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, just use dehaze and contrast. Play around with it. To start, when you're if you find that the photos are washed out, bring the exposure down, increase the contrast and dehaze, and then play with your temperature. Alicia, sorry, is it Alicia? Alicia or Alicia? I don't want to. I'm sorry, I'm probably just botching your name. I'm really sorry. If you want to send me in a couple photos, let me know and I can play around with you. Play around with the photos for you. Let me know, okay? You can send it to, I'll just actually comment here. I think I can, let's see here. I think I can comment Myrtle and Moss photo, whoopsies, at gmail.com. Whoopsies.com through WeTransfer. There we go. Okay, there's my email. You can send it through WeTransfer, and then I can do it next time I'm editing. Okay, and then one more photo here. This is stunning. The crop, actually here, was I zoomed in a little bit? Oh, I think I was zoomed in. Okay, the crop, maybe I would center them a little bit, or extend this background a little bit here, so that they're a bit more centered. And then maybe bring his head a little bit, like get her up a little bit higher so their heads can be a little bit closer maybe. So you can really like feel that connection between them. But I like there's so much connection going on here with the belly. I don't know. I think that this is fine. The editing is amazing. The dress tones, everything like that is so beautiful. Paige, you're just slaying. I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. Alicia. Okay, good. I think I said it both ways in hopes that I got your name right once. Thanks, Alicia. All right, guys, that is it. That is 2 hours. I always end up doing 2 hours of just the Tip Tuesday. Let's pull this up here. Hold on. I got to do the one that I made. Hide your kids, hide your wives. I got to pull this up. We will see you next Tuesday. I'm so inappropriate. I'm sorry, Mom. This is I'm your daughter and I'm sorry. We'll see you guys next Tuesday for the posing workshop. If you haven't signed up yet and you'd like to, you can just visit myrtleandmoss.com. Everything's on there. Make sure you follow the instructions. It's held via a private Facebook group. You can request to join. I created